Hey all, it's Matt with Cruises, Rooms, and Reviews. We're here on Utopia of the Seas, which is Royal's newest ship as of the time of this recording at least. We are staying in a balcony room. This is room 10260 on the 10th deck. We're going to give you an overview of the room, give you some of the insights about it, what we like, what we don't like, and at the end of the video, we'll tell you whether we would stay in this room again. Let's check it out. All right, as I said, we're at 10260. We are just down the hall from the main midship lobby. If you want a room that's close to the elevators, this one would be a good one for you. Of course, that means you are a far walk from the front lobby. Let's head on in. I do like the colors of the door, by the way. One thing to note, the door doesn't really close by itself. You need to give it a good push for it to latch. It won't just, if you let the door close, it just won't latch. Something to be on the lookout for if you stay in this room. See, it just didn't close there. Have to give it a pull. All right, on this class of ship, very similar room to Wonder. You have a very short entryway, not a long hallway. You do have a full-length mirror on your right as you come in, and then on your left, you'll have your light control for the room and your power-saving device thingy that they always just leave a card in, so it doesn't really work. So here's the room. First of all, the layout. You have the bed closer to the door and further away from the balcony. The couch is closer to the balcony. I'm not a biggest fan of this configuration. I like when the bed is further over towards the balcony. So you have this room here fairly open in order to get dressed or get back and forth to the bathroom. It's fine, it works, just my preference. We have the main bedroom area here, which is the traditional Royal King. This can be split into two beds if you need that. On the left-hand side of the bed, you do have a very narrow end table here. You see, I've put the phone down underneath here in order to have more space on top, since it is so narrow. And then on top, you have space for some things. You have a reading lamp here, simple switch on and off. You do have a US power outlet and one USB-C port. Just to let you know, the USB-C ports in the lamps are not very high power. They could directly power my phone, but they could not directly power my iPad. I'm assuming it had too high of a power demand for it. You also have a room light switch there. And then also to the left, you have one of the two closets. You have two drawers at the bottom of this closet. See, we're not even using this one. I do like the amount of storage you have in this room. But you can see it's very wide, it's fairly deep, nice two drawers right there. Then we have the main closet, or one of the two main closets. A narrow, not full length closet right here. Great for my things, especially since this is a very short 3-night cruise. I even have my backpack in there. And then to the left side, you have nice deep shelving for storage. That's where we tend to put a lot of our clothing. See a whole shelf not even used there. This is also where you have your ship safe. This is the standard size they put on most ships these days. Not large, so you're not gonna fit most tablets or laptops in there. Phones, passports, keys, wallets, that kind of thing. One thing they did miss out on the design of these ships, Wonder and Utopia, that I think worked really well, especially on the Quantum class ships where I've seen this. I've seen it where they have storage up above here, and I think that works quite well, but they probably don't have it because they have the HVAC up there in these rooms. Directly across from the bed, the standard TV, I'm guessing it's about a 55-inch TV. I'll be honest, we haven't even turned it on. I don't know if it has the streaming capabilities like you have on Wonder of the Seas. And then you have these hooks, which is something they also put in on Wonder of the Seas. We've put a few hats there. A missed opportunity for storage, I think, is along this wall here. You have a lot of blank space towards the top. I believe they could have put some shelving up there to help with storage of smaller items. Back over here to the right side of the bed, you have another table just like the other one, very thin. And then this same setup with the lamp, one US outlet, see it better there, one US outlet and one USB outlet. And then we have the other closet just to the side of the bed. This is a full-length closet. You can store your longer dresses and things like that in there, and of course dump all your shoes. One thing to note, I just figured this out on this cruise. This bar, a lot of ones they'll have bars that fold out or fold back. This one just pops right out if you need to get rid of that bar. Here's the sofa area. Now we have 3 of us staying in this room. This is a sofa bed. Now, since there's only our one child, Ryan, staying in this bed, they've made it up into a single bed. But this does, let's see if I can do it. This does pull out to a bed underneath, so they can make a full-size double bed out of this. Here's a photo of the sofa, though, when it's in its normal configuration. And you do have some artwork up above. Now over to the vanity area. You have your standard mirror, your desk area, plenty of space here, nice comfy chair. And let's check out the outlet situation. So down here you have 2 US outlets. You have a control for the light on the mirror. You have 2 USB ports, so one is USB-A and one is USB-C. You have a European 220 volt outlet. Over here you have 1 more US outlet and 1 more European outlet. Very happy considering you've got 2 outlets over by the beds and you have all these outlets and an outlet in the bathroom. Plenty of outlets. They've done a good job with that, especially because of the newer restrictions on the type of power adapters you're allowed to bring into rooms these days. Then we have the vanity. Nice storage space on top, plenty of room there. 4 narrower drawers going down here, 1 wider drawer up top here. And you can see we've used that for some clothing and such. I think that's where you would find the hair dryer normally. Down underneath here, your ship refrigerator / cooler, really, though I do find this one to be on the colder side. Our drinks have been kept nice and cold in here. Definitely colder than the coolers we've had on other ships. So let's check out the bathroom. Now before we go in, the switch to your bathroom is right here. I do like that it's very accessible. One thing I don't like is when it's off, there's a little LED light, and that does provide some light into the room while you're trying to sleep. You also have your HVAC controls. Fairly simple, you have an on off and then up and down. One thing to note, there's no latch. This is a magnetic door, so it just kind of holds itself shut and then you can lock it from the inside. I like that, no noise for the latch opening and closing, especially during the night. You do have some hooks for your robes and towels right on the door. As we head in, you'll find most bathrooms configured like this on this and Wonder. One thing Rebecca wanted to note is it's not a very deep sink, so if you want to wash clothes, things like that, some smaller things in here might be okay, but bigger items may be difficult to wash in this small of a sink. We found larger basins on other configurations. You have a nice shelf along here, plenty of room and storage. Another shelf underneath for storage, your trash can. And up top here, you do have 3 shelves in the corner, along with some nice high storage, which I always point out is great when you have medication and children in the room. Of course, the standard ship toilet. Nothing different there, and it works just fine. And then we'll check out the shower. Large clear glass configuration, so you're not going to get any privacy. It's fairly large inside. I know it doesn't look it because of the video, but it's a good size. I'd say the icon showers may be a little larger because of how wide they are. Plenty of room in here, at least for our purposes. Foot stand right there. You have a shower wand, your controls for pressure and hot water. Takes a little while for the hot water to come through on this. You have to let it warm up for a while. Very surprising, not really used to that. The other weird thing is the hot water temperature seems to oscillate a bit. It goes, if you have it too hot, it goes from hot to scalding hot really easily and quickly back and forth. I try to keep it on the warm side and it goes from hot to warm. It's a little bizarre, but I'm not too worried about it since we're only here 3 nights. The first day we were here, we did take showers. We did have a slow drain and it backed up the water into the bathroom, but maintenance has since come and taken care of that. So if you do have a problem, just report it to maintenance and they should be able to take care of it. Double duty Salt and Breeze hair body wash is made available to everyone, and then you have a shelf for things. Let's head out to the balcony. There is a safety lock on the door up here. Your standard handle down here, down is closed, up is open, very easy, and it slides open very nicely, which it should do for a nice ship. Boat going by, so a little noisy. And this is the standard configuration of a balcony you'll find on most ships. You do have 2 seats, a table, and an ottoman for each seat. So for 2 people relaxing, it is plenty of space. Another thing I like about newer designs of the ships is the very clear and open glass pane. Plenty of viewing, nothing obstructed at all. Out there, you'll actually see Paradise Island here in Nassau, which they have pretty much wiped out a big chunk of this island because Royal Caribbean is building their Royal Beach Club here. Hopefully this will be less construction and a much better view in the future. Here's another shot of the balcony. And one thing to point out, you do have opening doors on each side so you can connect this balcony to either of the balconies next to it. So what are the pros and cons of room 10260 here on Utopia the Seas? I think this room is really nice decor, really nice layout, well, except for where the bed is. You guys know I like the bed further towards the balcony and not as close to the bathroom. I really like what they've done with this room. There's good storage. I think there's opportunities for more storage that wouldn't take away from the aesthetic of the room, but I think overall they've done a really good job with the design, which is similar to Wonder of the Seas. Put a link to the room we had on Wonder so you can see the similarities. Another pro is the location of the room. We are just down the hall from the main elevator. Get off the elevator, just a few steps over to the room. And then, of course, I love on newer ships the design of the balconies, how you have pretty much unobstructed views out to the ocean, a really great place to relax. So what don't I like about this room? Well, I told you about the temperature issues in the shower. That's a little odd. We can make do with it, but if I was on a longer cruise, or like a week-long cruise, I think we would be asking for that to be looked at by maintenance. But for 3 nights, we can get by just fine. A con of actually being near the elevators is in the evening, we go to bed probably earlier than a lot of people on a cruise. You're gonna hear people walking by the room since it's gonna be a more heavily traveled area, and that's just part of the game. We go back to the question, would we stay in this room again? 10260's been great so far. We've only been in it 1 night, but it's been a really good room. I'm happy with it. I probably would stay in this room again, but probably won't because there's so many other rooms on this ship to try out. I would like to know whether other rooms have that same temperature issue with the shower, and does it take a long time for the shower to get warm? Hey, if you stayed on Utopia the Seas, let us know. Does it take a long time for your shower to get warm? That's not a behavior we see typically on most cruise ships. So that's our overview here on room 10260, a balcony room here on Utopia the Seas. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. It does us a world of good. And also, check out the rest of the Cruises, Rooms, and Reviews channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future cruising content. This is Matt with Cruises, Rooms, and Reviews. Happy cruising, everybody.